Okay, so before we jump into your questions, I first want to let you know Ford and Pitchfork TV have teamed up for Artists Connect, a series of 3 videos, each featuring an up-and-coming indie band, which, by the way, support your indie bands. They need it. There's true talent out there, and they deserve publicity. Each video will showcase the band's live performance as well as a day in their life, so you get to know them a little bit. And it also showcases Ford's Transit Connect, which is a really cool, fun van, which, by the way, speaking of a van, at one point in my life, I wanted to live in a van, but that's a story for another time. So click the annotation right there, go over to Pitchfork TV, check out the band Guards. It's a 3-piece rock band from New York, and while you're there, subscribe and tell them the Flickster sent ya. Okay, it's time to answer your questions. I got my phone here where I'm going to read the questions off. I got my Mountain Dew here. It's almost gone, but let me take a sip of it. Hang on. No more lights, camera, Jackson. I'm not talking about him for at least another 2 Q&As, okay? What would you do if Mark Wahlberg and Nicolas Cage would come to your house with the movies After Earth, Spider-Man 3, and Transformers 3? What would it look... Okay. Would you look it with them? Would you look at it with them? I didn't say that. Absolutely. I mean, that'd be the best audio commentary I've ever seen in my life. You know, John, there's Autobots over there. A, B, C, Sam Witwicky. And then you got Mark Wahlberg over there. Hey, what are these Decepticons doing over here? What's with this fucking Sam Witwicky kid? Tell him to say hi to his mother for me. You know, I don't know what just happened there. Please forgive me. All right, next question. Oh, okay. More of a statement right there from Spencer Drake. Thank you for noticing that Lights Camera Jackson impression on the last Q&A, by the way. I gave that everything I had. What supplements do you recommend for fast muscle growth? Well, there is no magical supplement that's just going to make your muscles grow. It doesn't exist. You got to go to the gym every day. You got to rip the tissue, the muscle fiber, so it regrows and keeps growing and growing and advancing. And you just got to put hard work in. There's no magical supplement. Basically, what are supplements, especially when it comes to the fitness genre side of things? It's basically a whole bunch of shit you don't want and don't need, but it's backed up by marketing that tricks you as a consumer into buying the shit you don't want and don't need. Now, with that said, if you're going to work out, you're going to the gym, and you want to supplement your muscles, your muscle gains, your mass, get protein. I mean, protein's not going to hurt. It's always good to get enough protein. That way you can feed your muscles. But like I said, you still got to go put all the hard work in. And, you know, if you wanted to just eat right, you know, if you wanted to eat, you know, meals that were, you know, chicken breasts. Actually, I prefer chicken thighs. They're a little bit more tender. They're a dark meat. That's what I prefer. But, you know, if you just eat right and you have a good diet, you don't need powdered protein. Now, for me, I eat like shit. My girlfriend doesn't cook. I don't want to cook. I'm lazy. So I try to get as much powdered protein as I can. Now, I get my protein from Walmart, and I literally just forgot what the name of it is. Okay, that just took me a minute sitting here in front of the camera trying to think of that, so I'm going to edit my thinking process out. I get Body Fortress chocolate whey protein from Walmart. It's like $17. It's got 62 grams of protein, and I recommend it. I've tried some of the expensive stuff, and I think this stuff works that I'm using. Now, you could also get creatine. In my opinion, you could get like monohydrate creatine, which really, what does creatine do? A lot of people will debate what it does. For me, it basically just throws muscle into your water. Does it make you look a little bit more puffy and a little bit more bulky? Sure, but to me, it's just retaining water, and I don't think that's a good look anyway. I just think that looks bloated. So protein is pretty much the only thing I can recommend. So that's the best answer I can give to you, but just go to the gym and eat right. There you go. Hey, Johnny, your opinion on Alexis Texas. Best ass in the business. Have you seen I prefer Christy Mack, though. Have you seen The Weatherman with Nick Cage? Yes, I have. I don't remember a lot about it. I thought it was a little boring, but kind of liked the movie. Yeah, you know, definitely one of the more boring Nicolas Cage movies in recent years. But one that not a lot of people talk about is Adaptation with Nicolas Cage. Fucking hilarious. Please watch that. That is hilarious. And only Nicolas Cage could have made it that funny. Hey, John McClane, have you ever seen PTA's The Master, Paul Thomas Anderson's The Master, Joaquin Phoenix, Philip Seymour Hoffman? Yeah, some great scenes in that movie. One of my favorite scenes is where you have Joaquin Phoenix, and he's going to take this guy's picture. He's a photographer in like Sears, and he goes to put his tie on. He keeps putting the tie on, the light closer and closer to his face until the guy gets pissed off and tries to beat his ass. Great movie, pretty good. Would I recommend it? It's definitely worth one watch. All right. Hey, John, who is the biggest badass, Snake Plissken or Mad Max? Snake Plissken is a badass with an eye patch, but Mad Max, I mean, I feel like, that's a tough one. They're both very similar. That'd be a great celebrity death match right there. I'm gonna go with Mad Max just because I like the Road Warrior. I don't know, but Snake Plissken gets into more hand-to-hand combat, though. We'll just go with Mad Max for right now. 2 days ago, I seen a tanker that could haul that rig. You want to get out of here? Talk to me. Okay. All right. What is the darkest ending you've ever seen to a movie ever? Ooh. I'd have to think about that one. Some dark, brutal endings. If they would have kept the original ending that was in the Fight Club, the book, into the movie, that would have been a pretty dark ending. You said 7 here. I'll go with 7 because that movie went for it. It didn't hold back like typical Hollywood movies. Also another David Fincher film. But yeah, we'll go with 7 on that. If you had to pick one, which would you pick? The Dark Knight, Over the Top, or Shawshank Redemption, aka Morgan Freeman? Over the Top is a guilty pleasure, but by no means would I ever pick that over The Dark Knight. Now, Shawshank Redemption is a masterpiece. Andy Dufresne never touched another mop that day. I gotta set up closer. My name's Morgan Freeman. The mighty Mississippi keeps flowing. All right, that's all I got for you. Awful. Whew, I love The Dark Knight, but Shawshank Redemption, man, I don't know. How do you do that to me? That is a tough one. I got it. Oh, shit. I'm going with Shawshank. I'm going with Shawshank. Leaving it there. Hey, Johnny Badass, why do you pronounce setting, and set as sat? Or set? Just curious. Also, what's your favorite book? I've answered the book question. I don't know. Maybe when I talk, I try to get words out very quick. It's kind of like an auctioneer. When you listen to an auctioneer talk at an auction, everything he's saying is mispronounced, but he's saying it as easily as his tongue can make it flow, so it just goes together. So over there to the man in the red hat, blah, 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 blah. He's not really pronouncing words. So maybe that's what I do subconsciously, is I just say a word the easiest I possibly can with continuing. I don't know, I talk fast. Leave me alone. Hey, John, are you going to watch the Lego movie? Yes, I'm going to. Eventually. So will I have a movie review for it? Maybe not. Maybe I'll have a Blu-ray review for it, possibly. Hey, John, do you lend your movies out? No, absolutely not. And I've had people ask, I'm like, I don't fucking lend my movies out, dude, because every time I have, they come back sticky, scratches on them. I don't trust people. I know how people are in society. They don't take care of shit. They don't take care of their own shit. And you know what? If I do, here's my new thing. Here's what I do. If someone wants to borrow one of my movies, even a family member, I'm like, okay, that's cool. You give me $20, and I'll hold that for you as a retainer. And when you return the movie in one piece, and I'm content with how it looks, you get your money back. Oh, you don't want to do that? Okay, well, you must not want to borrow the movie then. That's what I do. I don't care who it is. I think that's what a lot of people should do. I have to say, your Maximus impression makes me want to vomit in my mouth. Get ready to vomit in your mouth, Mike Piasciano. Father to a dead son, husband to a dead wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life and the next. Somewhere some guy just vomited in his mouth, and I'm proud to say that. Anyway, why does he sound like a 1940s New York gangster? Why does he have gel in his hair, even though it takes place in, some time period before in the BC era? I don't know. X-Men First Class is one of the best prequels. In my opinion, favorite by far was Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Rise of the Planet of the Apes was a pretty good prequel. Yes, absolutely. This question keeps me up all night, John. Has Tiny Todd ever sexually assaulted you? Not sexually, just mentally. Hey, Johnny Tsunami, have you seen... Yes, I've answered that 525 times. John, what are your methods to getting big because you're fucking ripped? Thank you, I needed that. Do you take any creatine? We already answered the creatine thing. I don't take it. I did at one time, no more. I found, and this will go against all the advice you ever read, but if you guys, I have a picture somewhere, I'll have to find it. If you've seen me 2.5 years ago, I was in the worst shape of my life. I was all skinny and weird looking. I still look weird, but I don't know. I was awful looking, and I found what works for me. I went to the gym. I didn't know what I was doing, and then over time, I kind of learned what works for me, and everybody's a little bit different. I found a lot of people are going to tell you not to do this. It's up to you. I do it. As I found, I don't just like to do 2 body parts a day. I can't just do arms once a week. I find I don't grow that way. So what I do is I can do arms 3 times a week, 4 times a week even, because I go to the gym almost every day. But what do I do on those other days? Like one day I'll hit arms as hard as I can, for example. Everything I have, just rip, tear, everything. Now those other days I go, keep in mind you have a bicep, tricep, forearm, you can go lighter on the other muscles the other day. So the one day you're trying to do as much as you can, maxing everything out, doing the high reps, high weight. The other days you can do maybe a lower weight, lower reps, just to kind of get a pump in your arms. And I found doing that combined with everything else that's what made me grow. I don't know if that's what works for you. Try it. If not, don't. But that's kind of my routine. That's the method to my madness. All right. But I do want to state this. There is some muscle groups that you shouldn't do that to. For example, like trapezius muscles, your traps. I do those 2 days a week. Some days I do different exercises than others. One day I'll do shrugs, and I'll do them as heavy as I possibly can. Right now, for shrugs, what I like to do is I go over to the barbell, and I'll put, 3 plates on each side. I'll shrug that up, and when you do shrugs, bring them all up to your ears, hold it for a second, let it go, and always control it on your negative. But what I'm doing sometimes is on an easier day, I'll just do dumbbells, and I'll take 85-pound dumbbells and shrug those. It's a lighter weight than I'm used to. But I still like to stretch it out, kind of just get a little blood in the muscle to make it grow. You got to feed the muscle blood and protein. That's the ticket here. But on heavy days, for example, I'll take a 125-pound dumbbell and shrug those. And I'll be honest with you, the first time I seen those sons of bitches laying there on the floor, I didn't think I'd be able to pick them up. But I can do it pretty easily now. I'm proud to say that. I'm trying to get the Bein traps. All right. Hey Flickster, how you doing? Also, what movie do you think has the best score? Also, I'm going to stand by this Hans Zimmer's The Dark Knight Trilogy score. Look that up on YouTube. I think it's the Dark Knight Trilogy score. It has all the songs mixed together. Just so many emotions go through that. So epic, so inspiring, very heroic. When you listen to inspirational music like that, that's what I like. It makes you want to go off your ass and do something. So we'll go with that. All right, I'm trying to get back to where we were there. Do you like Warrior or Rocky 1 more? Oh, I'll go with Rocky 1 all day long. Hell no. Speed, greasy fast speed's what we need. Yeah, killing machine. I love Mickey. I love Warrior, but Rocky 1 was the superior movie. Hey, Johnny Leg Sweeper, I like that. Sweep the leg, Johnny. Yes, sensei. What are your thoughts on the Need for Speed movie that's coming out? It looks like a bunch of random shots of cars driving. It could be any movie you wanted it to be. You could put the title. It could be fucking Fast and Furious 9 if you wanted it to be. It wouldn't matter. I think as far as a marketing perspective goes, they are getting that younger audience in there that's just like, I want to see cars in movies, but they're not showing much of a story, and I have a feeling there isn't much of one to be told. I'm really curious what Batman music it is and who's the artist. Well, the one I'm talking... fuck. I hid my icons here. Hang on. Just type in the Dark Knight Trilogy soundtrack HD. It should be 35 minutes long on YouTube. That's what I've been listening to for like the last 2 weeks. Hey John, have you seen Buried with Ryan Reynolds? I have seen it. It was okay. I didn't love it. Speaking of pretty somber endings, that's one of them. All right. John, have you seen the film Butterfly Effect? Yes, I have. Good, nice little film. You know, it kind of got forgotten in the mid-2000s there. Not a bad movie. John, how would you feel if people... Oh, man. Okay. All right. Have you ever read a good comic book? I haven't read a comic book since the 1990s, man. I do want to actually... I've browsed them. I want to read the Dark Knight Returns comic or graphic novels. I do want to read those. Poor Lights Camera Jackson. Hey John, are you a gamer? If so, what's your favorite game and or franchise? One of my favorite games of all time was Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which is one of the hardest games I've ever played. I like the Mario Brothers. I like the classics. Another game I like that no one talks about is Rush. Oh yeah, Rush. You ever play that racing game? You fucking jump over all these little shortcuts and it's intense. Awesome racing game. But, you know, I played the Call of Duties. I will say the Call of Duties that came out around 2007, 2008-ish, all the way to 2010 even, were the better ones. But lately, not much. I haven't played video games. I don't have time or the energy to do it. Hey, John, what's the weirdest place you've ever gone to the bathroom? Turn it into a story if you can. Love your vids. Keep it up. Oh, man. I can tell you the time I've had to hold it the longest. I remember I was with this guy. He was a few grades ahead of me. We were going to a strip club or something in Ohio. You only had to be like 19 to get into it or something, or 18 or something. And I remember him driving, and I didn't want to say I had to go to the bathroom because I don't know why. I just didn't. And I was with a couple other of my friends in the car. So literally for 3 hours, I hold it, and by the time we get there, we can't find this place. So I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, I gotta go pee, dude. I was like, I don't care. Pull over, I'm jumping out, or I'm gonna piss in your back seat. So he pulled over. I guess this is a weird story of where I went pee. So he pulls over. It's like we're in Dayton, Ohio. Dayton, Ohio is where we're at, and there's like. By the way, the strip club was called Diamonds, I believe. But we pull over, and it's like the shittiest part of town you've ever seen in your life. There's like this old abandoned Kmart, and like he pulls into the parking lot, and this thing's closed. And I go over to one of the pillars in the front of the store, and all of a sudden, out of the shadows comes this figure, and like all I see is the whites of his eyes. And it was some homeless dude, like, pushing a shopping cart. I don't know what the hell is happening. I was halfway done, jumped in the car, and I finished the rest of it once we got to the club. That's there you go. I'll never forget that, though. All right. I'm cruising back down to your questions here. How long have we been talking? All right. What do you do in your free time? What do I do in my free time? Usually every day I go to the gym. I usually wake up, go to the gym. I go do something, maybe go to the store or see a movie sometimes. And then I come back home, sit around on my ass. I watch a lot of content online. I make videos. I edit videos. It's usually what I do. Have you ever seen Blank Man? J5! Of course I've seen Blank Man. One of my favorite HBO movies from the early 90s when I was a kid. And one of the first good spoof movies on the superhero genre. Yo, Johnny, love your channel and the effort you put in. My question is, if you had to fight either Bane, Batman, Superman, or Deathstroke, who would you choose and why? Well, Superman and Deathstroke are instantly going to kill my ass, so that's not gonna happen. Batman is technically a ninja. Bane, which version of Bane? Like Tom Hardy Bane or Bane from the comics? Bane from the comics seems scarier. Tom Hardy's Bane, I'm technically taller than him, so I think I might be able to take him. I don't know. Hey, Flicker, what are your thoughts about the movie Into the Wild? Seen it, part of it. I've seen part of it. I can't judge it. Kind of depressing, though. I seen the end of it. All right, let's answer one more question. Hey, Johnny Flickmeister, this might sound a little bit dark, a little bit creepy, but I love your channel. You're a total badass. And check your channel out every day to see if I'm missing out on any of the latest movie buzz. Thanks, man. Thank you. That means a lot. Just asking, how many stars would you give each movie of the Dark Knight trilogy? Are we basing this on like a 5 or a 3? We'll base it on a 5. 5 stars is perfect. All right. Batman Begins, I'd give 4 stars to. The Dark Knight, I would give 4.5 stars to. The Dark Knight Rises, I would give 4 stars to. Now, maybe 3.75 stars on The Dark Knight Rises. But here's the thing. Even though I said The Dark Knight was technically more stars, I prefer Batman Begins. And from a critical standpoint, I can see why The Dark Knight is a superior film on almost every single level. But I just rather enjoy the origin story of Batman. I like that it's a little bit more somber in the beginning. I like that it wasn't as... what's the term I'm looking for? I sort of liked them not having everything at their disposal in the first movie. I kind of liked that. I don't know. Okay, so anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. As usual, thank you for all the questions. Without the questions, there wouldn't be a video. Without a video, there wouldn't be me, and I would be, my computer wants to restart. Why do these things always want to restart every 5 hours? It's like, no. Like, who wants... Fuck that. Alright, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Ask anything you want to down below. And by the way, very soon, I was going to do it tonight, but I had to shoot 2 other videos. I was going to do a live Ask Anything, but I got my boom mic here. We're ready to go. We'll do that very soon. What is today? It's early in the week, so we'll do another one by the end of this week, definitely talking about Walking Dead, a whole bunch of other fun stuff. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.